Thank you for giving me a. This is yesterday I received the questions from Sister Xiaoxing that I feel of question, but I'm just pick one and try to answer. And I think this is my personal insight regarding this question that asking, and trying to make you guys can whether you can understand or not. But I think this is quite a simple question. I think as compassion and loving kindness was the different. But I think maybe they have two types of answer for me going to answer. Because if you want to listen, what is the simple, the short answer that asking for this from this question, I think if for the loving kindness, for the short answer that I can give, I think this is considered as like we doing charity, and Master always say with our pure, truly heart, and we give up ourselves and we put effort to help those needy people, and we regards any return, without any return or from the recipients or the the care recipients that we take care of. So I think this is like you are putting effort, but without any request coming back, return back. And for the compassion, I think the short answer that I can give, I think as simple as the Master say, we unbear to see the suffering people, so we feel their pain as our own pain. This is, I think, it's called compassion. But if you're still not satisfied with my answer, and I try to make it long, so that to just try to explain what is the two difference for this compassion and the loving kindness in my own personal answer. So first, we always heard Master say, when she's going to start to establish our Tzu Chi marriage society, and she taught herself, and she's saying to save the world, especially for this turby, the undefiled this world. And Master say first, she tried to change our deluded or ignorance mind to a pure mind. So Master say, if you, in order to save the world, the first step, she tried to save our people's mind and to cleanse our undefiled, undiluted mind and to pure. So 就是究竟起. So and Master says with the loving kindness, and she say that with loving kindness we have no regret, with compassion, and we have no resentment. So what is that for? And I think, sorry. Okay. Speak loudly. Okay. With loving kindness, and we have no regret, and with compassion, and we have no resentment. And this is a typical answer that I can hear from our masters. And with loving kindness, we have no regret. With compassion, we have no resentment. So what does that mean for? I think there's another explanation for this is like Masters is trying to say, for these two words is there's no form or appearance. Is this both actions? If I say I have a loving kindness and I have a compassion heart, people can't feel it. So in order to manifest these two words, and I think the best word is for us to take action. So there's a saying, actions speak louder than words. So Masters not to speak a very profound or wondrous, very deep meaning for this. And she's at the beginning, she's lead us to guide us to do action. When you see people suffer and you just, give your hand and to put it up and, from the suffering. So this is when you start to take action, you will feel their pain and suffering, and you will, have empathy to them. So this is the best. So for the loving kindness, I can say that a master say is we educating the rich to help the poor and helping the poor to realize they are rich. This is a very kind of a very equality to every sentient being. So this is what master is trying to say. We have the same level, no matter you are rich or poor people, as well as we human beings have an intrinsic Buddha nature in our heart. So for the loving kindness is everyone having the same loving kindness in their inner heart. But as well as no matter who you are, what races you are, or what kind of religion you believe to, as well as the masters, she is a wise person and she trying to let her disciple like us and to know that I don't care what background you are from and how high education you get or achieve, as well as you have a loving kindness heart in your mind. And I try to, she will fully utilize our potential, and she will try to give us a proper task to do the right. So if you are, for those who are wealthy in properties, and masters maybe will give them a chance to go for international relief works, and so that because they have to do the help people directly. So this is masters will give them a chance to go for overseas to help those poor people. But if for those who are can't afford to buy the air ticket, and master will say, no, you can stable your heart, and you can still do a charity job and helping people in your local country, in your community. So you don't need to spend a lot of money, or yet you still can do the same thing at the same time compared to those people who can go overseas. So I think this is what master's trying to pass a message for everyone, that everyone, as well as you have a loving kindness heart, and no matter the very reality, how rich or how poor you are from the family, and you still can help the people. And so there's a saying that Master say doing good deeds is not an exclusive privilege for the wealthy, but something that all good-hearted people can participate in. I think this is, I think maybe we all very agree for what Master say, because we all come from different backgrounds, but yet we still can do the same good job in our Tzu Chi society, and in the Tzu Chi activities. Yeah. So I think this is what Master say, just like in the Sutra of the Infinite Meaning, it's mentioned that from one seed can be, influenced to 10,000 or 10 of thousands people. It's just like Master, she believed that from her one self, from Master's stuff, from Master's, she give rise a good thought that everyone can do good deeds. She believed. And since she believed every one of us, and she tried to, give us a chance to influence others peoples as well, and telling them, you have the ability to help people. Don't be, underestimate yourself. So she built up our confidence, so that when we have a chance to meet other people who have a same situation like us, have a lack of confidence, we can apply Master's teaching, and we try to inspire people and to encourage people do the same way. So I think this is the way that telling us that we, believe everyone or believe other people's, the third party, you also have a loving kindness heart. This is, I think, what the masters are trying to pass a message for us. Just like this, tomatoes, from one seed can make a lot. So I think this is the very the example. I think I can try to let everyone know that I know that you all guys know the meaning of one seed can produce many, and I think this is a very short clip video that I just want to just share. And the second, the compassion. I think for what I learned is from Russell's saying that compassion is a mixture of love and sadness, which is blending the recognition of suffering and to help those in suffering. And in other words, compassion is also a kind of what it call a thing that you are unbear to see people suffering, and you feel same to them, and you will trying to want to do something with it. So this is kind of compassion that once you get inspired, and you get a power and to help those, and you so that just like I think for our Tzu Chi mission, I think the medical mission is the best example that I can say this is a compassion. So with the compassion, you will have no any resentment, because you treat everyone as the same, no matter this is your friends or the enemy or the person that you don't like. But I think we treat everyone equal. I think it's equality to all sentient beings, not for just only a human being. And so I remember on June 2019, and there's a professional from US, and he's a Chinese, and he came to Taipei to meet our master when our master have a pilgrimage touring around Taiwan. And this professor, he met Marcel, and he shared with Marcel that actually we human being in our brain through the research for the MRI, and he found that actually we human beings have this part in the brain, in a small part inside our brain, and which is called compassion and altruism. This kind of things, which is from the scientific, is already proved that we human can be compassion, can be nurtured, and can be to give up this can be try to nourish our pure heart. And I will say that if sometimes when we want to say something, please don't eat dairy products or don't consume any eggs on your 3 meals. Maybe I will say that because the animal is so pity, and because they've been tortured by our human being. And if by verbally, and maybe like I mentioned just now, and I described and how bad the situation for the chicken or hens, they suffer. Maybe without the reality for you to see, maybe your compassion wouldn't be so strong. Just like I know verbally and without any photos or any movies, and I just telling you, please stop killing animals, and please be kind to animals, because they have a pain as us, and be compassionate to them. So are you willing to stop eating eggs or eating any dairy products? If I'm verbally to telling you, I think maybe you will not take any action, because you will think that what's point what point that I can't take egg or dairy products. So it's my personal choice, and you have no right to to make my change in my decision. So But if after I show you this short video clip, maybe I think more or less you will start to think, is it this is time for me to stop eating animal meat or any dairy products and so on. So it's a very short video clip, around 3 minutes, and I just show and see, is it, are you truly start to have a strong compassion before I, and compared to I did not show you just now. So have a look for this.
Many of us have asked ourselves at one point, what's wrong with eating eggs? Hens are perhaps the most abused animals on Earth. At this very moment, there are more than 380 million hens being exploited for their eggs in the US. More than 95% of them are living in extreme confinement, with each hen having less living space than a standard piece of printer paper. They're unable to enjoy even the most basic of behaviors. Most are unable to perch or even fully spread their wings, and they are forced to stand or crouch on the cage's hard wires, which cut their feet. Due to the stress of such intense confinement, hens engage in unnatural behaviors. Self-mutilation and even cannibalism are common. As a result, workers cut off a portion of their sensitive beaks without any painkillers. Male chicks who are deemed worthless by the egg industry are disposed of like trash, either suffocated to death or ground up alive in large industrial macerators. Much like the animal agriculture industry as a whole, factory egg farms have major environmental consequences. For every egg consumed, a half pound of greenhouse gases are produced. Consuming eggs also comes with several risks to our health. The inside of eggs that appear normal can contain salmonella, a dangerous pathogen that can make you sick. Hens used for their eggs suffer immensely. And thanks to your support,
So, and I think I'm not. I just want to asking for everyone who's still, watching just now the short video clip, and what kind of feeling you have. Are you, if compared to just now, I'm verbally to using a very simple way to describe how suffer the chicken hens, especially for the laying eggs hen, and in the kind of bad situation, maybe you have no feeling. But I think more or less after through the video clip, I think you will start to have more clear understanding of their bad station, and you maybe will considering. I think, oh yeah, you will maybe have a thinking that it's time for you to do a decision or do some changing for your habit for eating. So from this picture and this photo, and I think I did mention last week regarding Master say, actually a lot of us very scared of going to the cemetery, or we call graveyard at night. But yet we are, still we human being still killing these animals and devour their life, and we eat a lot of their meat, and become our stomachs, we carrying this together along the way, with our physical body. And I think Master says caring for life applies not only to the humans, not only for just now what you saw from the video, and Master also mentioned that even though for the mountains, trees, or the land, that if they are healthy, then we human beings will be healthy too. So if we want to have a fairer weather, and so that we have four balance of the four elements, for the winds, fires, and and soil, and so on. So we will definitely human being will live in peace and prosperity. So the main important thing is to have a harmony life. I think the best is we must maintaining a pure heart. So we must be cherished and truly to blessing that what we are having. And but we must to while we are enjoying our life, don't forget those people who are suffering because of our desire, and we uh, killing their life, or we are eating their meat, or and so on, and we are have a destroyed we do any pollution for the environment like water or air or and so on. So I think as well as we human beings try to be more compassionate and more loving kindness, we not only care for human being but also for some other animals and for the surrounding, which is we call 有情无情, with lives or without lives, things we care, and we truly to be concerned for what surrounding us are actually related to our future living style. So if we have this kind of mind, I think more or less we will start to reflect ourselves from the action that we add on to other people. So I think this is what the message that I get it from our master. So I think this is the way I try to explain in the very long answer regarding what's the difference between loving kindness and the compassion. And thank you for your listening. And I think I pass it over to Sister Xiaoqing, and because I know that we have a wonderful sharing later on from our brother Pascal. Yeah, thank you for your time. Thanks.
Thank you, Master DeHuang, for the compassion sharing. Indeed, we will. Yeah, I think last week we also heard from Dr. Will Tuttle on this world peace. And today, Master DeHuang, and earlier, even at the 7 o'clock session, Master DeHuang also shared with us about this compassion eating, and we are very grateful for the reminder. Indeed, we have it's a special and auspicious occasion. We are very humbled to have with us Belgium Ambassador, Your Excellency, Brother Pascal. We call him, or known as Brother Pascal, as he is already with Tzu Chi, part of the Tzu Chi family. So we are very grateful to notice that Brother Pascal, he is very humble person despite his status and power, yet truly always very humble and prefer to be called as a brother. He's a very diligent brother. We heard that on certain lunar days, he will go for prayers at the Jing Hall as well. And indeed, it's our great role model. Okay, without much ado, let us invite Brother Pascal to share with us his insights during his journey in Tzu Chi. Okay, Brother Pascal, over to you. Can.
Good morning, sisters and brothers. First of all, allow me to express my deepest gratefulness for welcoming me today and to share a few modest, humble, not only thoughts, but experience. As we all know, at this point of a new year, at least in the Gregorian calendar, this is the opportunity to look back and to look back to the past year, the past months, and also to look forward to the future while having learned the lessons of the past year. So what I wanted to do today, this morning with you, this is to share some experience, the experience that I had with Tzu Chi, at least some milestones that goes a bit beyond the past year, 2020, not only because it has been a special year for everybody, but because also it was a bit more complicated to get physically in touch with Tzu Chi, to visit Master, and to visit the abode in Taiwan and so on. But also because I wanted to take this opportunity to make a kind of a wrap-up of a bit more than 1 year and a half for me in contact with Tzu Chi work, to Tzu Chi master, Tzu Chi sisters and brothers. So let's start with this. One of the first, so as it has been said, I'm based in Malaysia. So the first or many of the activities, of course, were organized with Tzu Chi Malaysia, and most of the time at the headquarters in Kuala Lumpur. The first opportunity that we had, the first activity that we organized in collaboration with Tzu Chi was a concert with a Belgian pianist, a Belgian conductor, which adapted traditional Malaysian, mostly Malaysian songs for piano and for some specific voices like soprano, mezzo-soprano, and so on. And the point was to also, the performance was organized in close cooperation with a Malaysian university. It means fully Muslim university, one of the biggest university. And in this case, this is the UITM, and more in particular with the faculty of music of this activity. What I should have started first before to give a few examples of the collaboration with Tzu Chi, this is to first introduce the fact that the last 18 months I've been probably had the opportunity and the privilege and the pleasure to fly surely and to stay at 4 occasions in Hualien at the abode, and of course the opportunity to meet with Master Cheng and yeah, to take refuge. The last time that I was there, was I think in November 2019. I spent 3 days and 3 nights there, the opportunity to attend the 4 a.m. prayer, the opportunity to take refuge to Master, and to attend few other activities. Also the privilege to spend several hours with the Dharma Master, who is in charge, I would say, who is in charge of the pottery there. And I have a special thought to her because I've been told that she has been operated last Wednesday, and I hope she's doing well. And it has been this opportunity, the few hours that I spent at the pottery were really highlighting for me, not only because I had the opportunity to learn a bit of calligraphy, a bit to create a plate and so on, but because also the Dharma Master was kind enough to listen to me and to answer to my kind of existential question, and it was a privilege. So this said, the first activities, as I say, what with Malaysian University, and this concert in the Tzu Chi headquarters in Kuala Lumpur. We had about 300 people, of course, students and families of the performers, but also friends, Belgians, friends of the Embassy of Belgium's colleagues, and so on. And I must say it has been quite a success, because afterwards the teacher of the faculty of music of this Malaysia UITM University is a lady, is a Muslim lady, and she was very impressed and interested by the work done by Tzu Chi there in Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. And afterwards, I know that she has been, and she's still in contact with Tzu Chi. She brought students to learn a bit more about the recycling and so on and so on. So it is very interesting, because there is a dynamic, there is a leverage, which is also very much related to interface dialogue and to learn more each other and so on. Another activity that we had the opportunity to do, this is we organize at some point, it was in May 2019, we organized at an embassy a photo exhibition for a one-day photo exhibition by a Belgian photographer who had been to Rohingya camps in Bangladesh and so on. He organized an exhibition and to testify about the living condition and the poor condition and of these refugees. And it was opportunity. We had a kind of a panel with the MP, with representative of refugee association and so on, and we ended this panel with a presentation by Tzu Chi about Tzu Chi, what is it, but also about their relief activities. And it was a good opportunity also to introduce Tzu Chi activities to the public there. It was in a small venue, 60 people, a few colleagues as well, and a few people from other NGOs and so on. So there are also good opportunities to humbly introduce the work to people who, most of them maybe might have never heard about Tzu Chi. What we did also with my wife, we had the opportunity to attend Buddha's Day celebration, inviting not only my AU ambassador colleagues, but also all the diplomatic communities in Kuala Lumpur, in Malaysia, and with the kind support of Tzu Chi to spread the invitation and so on. My wife also, a bit later, had the opportunity to invite a group of wife of ambassadors and ladies ambassadors there in Kuala Lumpur to visit the headquarters of Tzu Chi. They have a very nice exhibition at the first floor, which introduced Tzu Chi, but also all the philosophy about, I would say, the philosophy and the action about recycling, about the importance of being vegetarian and so on. So it was also a great opportunity to get together, acquainted with the work of Tzu Chi itself. I had also the opportunity the privilege to be invited a few months ago to join the English group K1K Luncheon promoting Tzu Chi to English-speaking crowd in KL. This was also the opportunity to just talk about my own experience meeting with Master and what I've been doing and the importance of vegetarianism, compassion, and so on and so on. I had also quite recently, I think it was published on the Facebook page of Tzu Chi, I think in October, I had the opportunity to give or to participate at a Dao talk, also to create awareness to the Malaysian crowd and public. It was the topic was which kind of diplomacy for the 21st century. It was not at all, I would say, a geopolitical talk, but I wanted to demonstrate that beyond the big strategic question that have an importance, of course, globally and in the daily life, there are peoples, and it is important to put values in the international relation, and surely as a professional. And the values like compassion, like love, like positive energy, and mindfulness and awareness. What else as well? Also, a few months ago, my deputy, because I couldn't go there, visit in the east part of Malaysia, in Sabah. This is Sabah, Borneo, at the east side of Sabah, Borneo. We visited, my deputy, Matthias, visited two refugees stateless camp with whom, sorry, Tzu Chi is involved. So Tzu Chi very kindly organized a visit. It was also a way for us to be aware of the very poor conditions of life of those people, of their needs, but also of the extraordinary work of Tzu Chi. Afterwards, of course, the opportunity to share. My deputy, of course, share his experience with me. We share some report with my authorities in Brussels and what Tzu Chi does, what is the situation of the stateless, and so on and so on. It was also opportunity to share this information and the pictures that have been taken with my AU colleagues, also to help to promote awareness and mindfulness. And again, very grateful to the brothers and sisters of Tzu Chi for the work that is done there in Sabah and for the support they granted to us to make this 2-3 days visit possible. Very recently, so we are in January, so it must be like 3-4 months ago, I visited myself in company of other brethren and sisters, a recycling center of Tzu Chi. I would say it's not far from the center of Kuala Lumpur. It's like 10 kilometers or something. So it's really in the metropolis of Kuala Lumpur. And we had the opportunity to visit. I had the opportunity to visit this recycling center to see how it works. Again, what is the philosophy? They are developed behind a community garden. Since then, it has been even, it became bigger, and with the collaboration of the local police, sorry. So a real community work of mindfulness and awareness is organized there by Tzu Chi brethren. Now, of course, with the lockdown, because in Kuala Lumpur, in Malaysia, we are still in a quite full lockdown, so the activities are suspended. But I think 2 months ago, I organized a visit with I invited all my AU, European Union ambassador colleagues to join me to visit the recycling center. Kindly enough, the brethren and sisters of Tzu Chi of the recycling center open it exceptionally for us and welcome us, and we had a tour and an explanation and so on. We are 17 AU ambassadors and in Malaysia. Not all of them were able to attend. The delegate or a deputy or a person in charge of the administration. And the objective was, of course, to raise awareness of on the importance of recycling waste, but also the work, amazing work achieved with this respect by Tzu Chi, in order to promote recycling in the embassies. The embassies, it means at the office, the chancelleries, but also at the residence. We have started ourselves already after my first visit a few months ago to the recycling center. We have started at the residence and at the office to recycle. And we are bringing every month or something the waste to recycle at the Tzu Chi Recycling Center. The idea is to start the same with the 17 European Union embassies. Few of them has been already doing it. Some of them have been doing it in the past, but they've stopped because, of course, the point is not only to sort the waste, but also to make sure that afterwards they are not dumped anywhere. And of course, with Tzu Chi, we have all guarantees that this is done in a responsible, sustainable manner. So we are now early January. And the work of the European Union delegation will start again at the end of the month or early February. The administrative group and the ambassador will come together. So we will see what we can organize collectively in order to collaborate with Tzu Chi, so to bring the sorted waste there and so on. So this is about it. So what, in a nutshell, what we have been doing with my wife, with my collaborators the last 18 months, something like this. The question, of course, is what is the intention? What is the intention behind why we do it, why we consider it is important? Let me, to answer this question or to feed the answer to this question, let me maybe look at a broader, more personal picture by sharing the following anecdotes. When I spent 3 days, 3 nights, I think, at the abode in Hualien, and at Hualien, I had the opportunity to take refuge to master. Or as I said, I had the opportunity to participate to the 4 a.m. Meeting prayers, and to be frank, I love it. Really, I love it. I love it. Don't even ask why, but I just love it, and I think is a good reason enough to participate. And when I have opportunity, effectively, and when, of course, there is not this physical distancing and so on, I go, I try to go as often as possible to the 4 a.m. Prayer in Kuala Lumpur. But to come to the anecdote and afterwards, what is the intention behind my relationship, if I were there to say, with Tzu Chi. So I spent 3 days and 3 nights there, and of course 3 days and 3 nights. Of course, I met a lot of brethren and sisters and other peoples who are living there, or who are just spending the day, or teaching, or learning, or praying, or whatever, or doing the daily work. And few people. Of course, obviously, I'm not a Taiwanese as such. I'm not of a Chinese origin, neither continental nor Taiwan. Obviously, I'm not. It is not necessary that written on my forehead that I am Buddhist. So definitely no need to say that. Several people might have asked themselves what I am doing there, and so who are you, and what are you doing here, and why are you here? And you don't even speak Chinese. It's right, and I still don't learn Chinese. And I would say humbly share this anecdote with Master Cheng, and she very kindly and softly told me, you know, it's not. With other words, of course, she said, you know, it's not complicated. Why you are here, what you are doing here? You just reply the following: this is your home. This is your home. This abode is your home. Tzu Chi is your home. This is your spiritual home. It speaks for itself, right? Of course, it means there is no need to explain. This is all is said, and this is your home, and this is your spiritual home. So this is my home and my spiritual home. So what is the intent? What is the intent or intention in my relationship with Tzu Chi? We could summarize. I could summarize it at following: surely first to learn about the Dharma, about the Sutra, about the Lotus Sutra, about the work of Tzu Chi, and so on, and also to create goodwill around me, of course, all around us, with my wife, my family, because we are. Is related to my profession of diplomat. We are in contact and in touch with many people of different origins and different interests, and so on and so on. So the idea is already to create goodwill in order to promote the idea, to help, modestly, humbly, to promote the activities the activities of Tzu Chi, the relief, the recycling, the promotion of vegetarianism. This is crucial for a better world, for a better loving world. This is absolutely crucial, and definitely the fact to be in contact with Master Cheng Yen, with Tzu Chi, the brethren and sisters, to listen to the lecture this morning, but also other days and so on. It helps me to become more aware and more mindful about this. So creating goodwill, to create mutual respect between Tzu Chi and the rest of the world, or humbly said, between the rest of my world, with no necessary Tzu Chi, who are not necessarily aware of the importance of becoming vegetarian, and so on and so on. And also is a way to spread, if not love, because who am I? I'm not Martin Luther King, or I'm not a Dharma master or Master Cheng Yen, but to spread love and a positive energy, and on the most simple way, which is the most spontaneous and the most natural way, at least as much as possible. So this is a bit what I have to humbly share with you when I am looking to the past year, 2020, but also a bit beyond the 18 months of my journey with Tzu Chi and with the Sutra, the Lotus Sutra, etc. I would say on a very humble and modest way. I definitely could spend more time to read and to do myself more positive action and so on. But we will get there for sure at some point. And the point is, the fact is to do the things, right? Not only to think about it and just do it. And sometime even don't think too much, I would say, or I say to myself, just do it, and the rest would follow with open mind, open heart, and compassion and loving, and it is important to me. I don't know really how much time I still have. I would like, if not to conclude or to finish, but just to come to a kind of closing with two thoughts that are coming up to my mind, and which are related to the lecture of today, the Kalpa. I did not have the opportunity to attend the very beginning, but surely the good the lecture by Master Cheng Yen, surely a good half of it, and I listened also to some comments that have been done by some brethren and sisters about it. Two things popped up in my mind when I was listening to the Kalpa. And for a non-Buddhist and a non-Buddhist practitioner and me, when you listen, this is quite cataclysmic. The Kalpa and the plagues and the destruction and the need to repent and so on and so on. And of course, in this pandemic time, it takes an additional meaning, right? Because we are in it. And it's not if or when, this is now. So, and it made me think, ceteris paribus, to something from the Christian Bible, which is called the Apocalypse according to St. John, right? If you have the opportunity to read the Apocalypse of St. John, it's quite apocalyptic as well. It's talk about it's a story about destruction, about plague, about humanity has come to an end in its moral status and so on. And so you have the night of the apocalypse, and you have also floods. You have also droughts, and you have also cricket who are destroying crops and so on. So this is apocalyptic, and I think also, if I'm not wrong, this is where the beast of the apocalypse 666. There is all a symbol. The whole symbolic about it is coming, and the story or the concept or the approach or of the Kalpa made me think about the apocalypse. Where I want to come with this, mentioning the apocalypse, the etymology of apocalypse is the following. I would say is it's not necessary destruction, the end of the world, and repent yourself and for the sins that you have done, and so on and so on. The etymology of apocalypse means the following: is revelation, in fact, revelation. And of course, in a Christian biblical context, is a revolution, the revelation of what? This is the revelation of Jesus Christ. In the Bible and the Apocalypse according to St. John. If we take some a bit, I would say, I'm not a theologian or whatever, so what I express now is very personal, but this is how I see it and how I feel it. Revelation of, so it's something positive. Apocalypse is equal to, even if the story of the apocalypse, a bit like the story of the Kalpa, at least what I heard today, is about catastrophe and so on, is something positive, is revelation. Revelation of Jesus Christ is what? If we take it not literally or theologically or whatever, Jesus Christ is the Son of God. So this is the vehicle, or one of the vehicles, who is bringing the followers or the humans being to the believers to God, to the divine. This is an access, and by the apocalypse, by the revolution, the human being, the human sentient, have the opportunity to improve themselves, to discover and to go to unveil the divine spark inside oneself, to become better. But by also the revelation of Jesus Christ, this is also a way to leave, to open a path within yourself to the divine. So everything being connected, sorry, the divine needing the human beings, the human beings needing the divine to find some transcendence, some sense to this life, and to become a better person. So to some extent, I was thinking, and again, I don't know nothing about Kalpa and so on, but it makes me think that to some extent, Kalpa probably also, if we take it not, in a, I would say, literal sense, with the hundreds of thousands of years, billions of years, and so on, it might also say that, listen, be mindful, be aware, this is what is going on is not correct, is wrong. It's wrong because there is something wrong with each of us, inside of us. But we can make the difference by becoming aware. There can be a revelation for something better. So this is a bit what popped out in my mind, quite modestly. I repeat it again, quite modestly, this parallel between Kalpa, apocalypse, and at the end of the day, probably something quite positive if we want to listen to the real, the real message which is behind. Now, I will conclude. As I started to look back. We are at the end of a new year, at least again in the Gregorian calendar. This is also the opportunity, while having learned the lessons, to look forward. And again, after having listened to the lecture of Master on Kalpa, but also about what has been said about Kalpa by the brethren and sister today now online, I would say a resolution for myself and maybe for others could be the following, and I am paraphrasing what has said Master Cheng. Let's try all together to stay more vigilant, more disciplined in order to spread, to share positive healing karma. Thank you very much for your kind attention and patience with me.
deepest gratitude to our brother Pascal for your wonderful sharing. And welcome back home, brother Pascal, to your Tzu Chi spiritual home. We are truly humbled by your presence today, your sharing. Indeed, I truly agree with you that we need to be very vigilant now. I think the COVID situation, especially, that is more and more serious. Truly need to be vigilant, be very mindful, to stay safe. At the same time, I think it's a very wonderful sharing on insight, the path in Tzu Chi that you have been walking. Yeah, really humble. Guidance so much. Thank you so much, Brother Pascal, for joining us today. And we also like today to send our prayers and condolences to Brother Song's family. Brother Song, one of our GNC volunteer, he passed away peacefully yesterday. He had a stroke on the 25th of December, which is a Christmas day. Then he was operated immediately. And somehow I think he went into coma. So the family, home sister was very worried. So I think a lot of brothers and sisters sent prayers to her, to our brother Song. And in fact, 2 days ago, the doctor advised the home sister to pull the plug. I think she was very lost and had a lot of guilt. Somehow, he passed away peacefully yesterday. So we will have 30 seconds of a silent prayer and condolences for Brother Song. Okay, thank you so much. Over to you, Sister Tzu Chi.
Brother Robert, Brother Pascal for such a wonderful sharing. Master DeHuang, she did left a message before she leave. She apologized as she has the duty at a boat. That's why she wished to stay further. Master DeHuang, her message is, recently we often heard our Tzu Chi members say, Master, we cannot do without you. 上人. So the volunteers asking Master, telling Master that we cannot do without Master. Then 上人, Master, she would reply, Tzu Chi needs us even more as we can inspire more people to join Tzu Chi. When love spreads from one person to another, eventually people around the world will be inspired to give with love. Just like Brother Pascal, who is also one of Master's disciples who started recycling in the embassy. So this is very amazing and wonderful job that Brother Pascal has done. This is the message from our Huang Shifu.感恩 so much. We are very grateful. We are truly humbled to have with us Brother Pascal as our role model. Okay, thank you, brothers and sisters, for your presence. Hope that each of us could sustain the Dharma joy and take in another piece of our Master and Hualien love to our life. Let us invite Brother Robert to lead us in paying homage. Let us please make 3 bows to the Buddha and Dharma Master as we apply these teachings in our daily life. Let us pay our respects to our teachers of life, universal truth. Palms together. First bow. Second bow. Third bow. Okay, 感恩 brothers and sisters.